Okay, I think we're good now. I think we're good to start. So we're gonna work on this little peacock here. Little, I say little. It's a little big peacock. I did take the time outside of stream to fix up this pillar. So I think I'm just gonna leave that as it is and just focus on the bird from now on. But that's where we're at. Just need to finish up touching up this bird. I don't know if I want to do the tail to start or if I should finish coloring the rest of it. The tail is going to be a challenge, so whatever we do for the tail, it's going to be something I'm going to have to work out. But for now, I'm going to fix these legs because they do need a lot of fixing. But I hope anyone watching has had a good week. It's been a long week for me, but it was a good one. It's good but long. And that's definitely an improvement from what this is. A lot of times looking back at a build after I haven't looked at this in a couple weeks, I start to notice things I didn't notice then, just having been away from it for a while. Also, I think I accidentally somehow started streaming before I was ready, which is why you'll see I streamed for like a few minutes and then it stopped. I stopped it because it was an accident. I don't know how that happened. But I think we're good now. I think we're good now. I'll just have to remove that video later on. Actually, it is just like one block thick there, isn't it? But it doesn't look bad. It looks normal. It just feels weird to make it only one block thin. Huh. I guess it'll be fine. I'll just move this part down here. I seem to recall having touched up these feet quite a bit, and now I'm touching them up again. Alright, give me one moment. Need to get my reference picture here ready. Need to study the colors on this bird because I need to figure out what colors I'm going to be using for the wings, and we'll probably start working on the tail too, which is going to be really challenging. Not sure how I'm going to do that. I do have a couple ideas in mind, but the feathers are so complicated. And there's so many colors in them too. It's not just greens and blues, but there's also browns. Don't know if I want to include all of those colors. I don't know. Well, we're gonna start with the wings. I guess we'll start with these white part. Well, they're not exactly white. They're kind of like a speckled brown. Now, I don't know what wax I want to use for that. probably use a combination of different things. It is very speckled looking though, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that. If anyone has any suggestions for a block I can use, my brain is not working right now. I also need to work on the shading on the blue parts. But that doesn't have to happen right away. Diorite would almost work, but I think it's a little too white. Maybe it wouldn't make much of a difference in the end. Well, this is the block I currently have. Let me just pull this in here again. And probably something darker and lighter. Hello, Young, how are you? How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a great week. A great day, great everything. I'm so indecisive. So pardon me if I'm just like scrolling through this inventory for a little bit, trying to decide what blocks to use. Maybe I should just like try some out. So I'm gonna grab some darker blocks and some brighter blocks. Sure, we'll try diorite just for fun and see what happens. I'm going to replace all of this with diorite, actually. We're gonna try something. I did that backwards. I need to replace this with this. And let me see. I think we're gonna try speckling this now. That's a little too much, not that much. It could be worse and it could be better. I also need to fix up this line because right now I think it's exactly flat with the body, so I need to make sure the wings are poking out just a little bit so they look like they're separated from everything else on this body. So I'm just going to pull these out a couple blocks on the end. I don't think I need to do it everywhere, just along the edge. Wow, Finn? How are you doing, Finn? You guys can hear me, right? I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Making sure my mic is working properly this time. Last time it wasn't working properly, which is why I thought I'd ask. Hey, Ranger. How's it going? Okay, good. I really apologize. Last time I streamed this Peacock, when I started it, I didn't have my right mic on and I didn't realize it till it was way too late. But we're not going to make that mistake again. At least not anytime soon. You can't hear me? I'm not sure why you can't hear me, if that's a problem. Alright. If you guys really can't hear me, let me know. Well, you're just gonna prolong the stream if you keep doing that, Ranger. Okay. I won't fall for that again. I'm already not liking these colors I picked. I like the diorite. I don't like this. I don't like these. I don't know what to do with them. But if you look at a peacock's wings, they're like very spotted. It's kind of like the diorite texture but on a larger scale. I don't know how to describe it. So if we can make it look like diorite on a larger scale, that would be perfect, but I don't know how to do that. With the size we're doing, I don't know how to do that. I think I need the wings to be a little bit bulkier in some places. We don't have any clay. Well, I guess this is clay. I'm sorry. I'm used to this being called terracotta now, because technically clay looks like this. It's the gray block. But gravel, we can try gravel instead. We can, where is the gravel? Gravel, there you are. We can try replacing it with gravel and see how it looks. I'm open to suggestions. I just want to experiment with stuff. This is just we're just practicing this out, testing this build out. I think the wings, to be honest, should actually come out more than that. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to replace all of this with diorite for now, and I need to use a quick command on these wings. I know I did like just place a bunch on that side, but I think the wings all around need to stick out a little more. So what is the ID for this? 1, 3. Oh wait, let's do a G mask first. We're gonna replace around 1, 3 with 1, 3. There. And we'll do a G mask again. So now it should be sticking out just a little bit more, so it's got a little more depth to it. Just replaced around it once. We'll touch up some of these little areas that are kind of awkward. But yes, we'll try speckling it with the gravel. Gravel is a little bit light. Let me just see. It might work. I wonder what other gray blocks we have. Bedrock honestly might be a good choice too. It's the kind of contrast we need. Or maybe both. I don't know. Let's try both. Now I'm curious. Now I want to see how it would look with both. We'll get rid of this. Now the problem with that is it didn't spread them out like I want them to. Like it has too many of them all clumped together. So maybe it would just be better for me to go in here and just kind of place them by hand. I don't want to do that. Try not to do that. But it's so hard not to sometimes. This is a male, obviously. Can't you tell? Only males are colored like this. Actually, aren't female peacocks like brown or something? They're not nearly as pretty. The female birds are never as pretty as the males. I kind of like having the gravel in there to add a little bit extra lightness to it. I'm not a huge fan of the speckling, but I think it works well for these wings. Oh, did it? I didn't even notice. I'll just go grab it later on. I'm gonna keep touching these up. I'll get it eventually. Alright, I need to destroy some of this gravel without it falling. No! One fell. There's the other one. That's the trouble with gravel. I might switch out the gravel for something that doesn't fall. Just because it can get irritating. Let's switch it out for andesite. That's close enough. Okay. Here we go. Shouldn't have any more falling blocks. Now here, too much bedrock in one spot. Oh, and this is where I was just touching it up, isn't it? Okay, I'm not going to do this for too long. I don't plan on doing it anyway. I think the wing is fine. I do want to add like a shadow underneath the wing somewhere to kind of help with the shading on this. It's hard to add shading to something that's so speckled like that, but I'm gonna try. Let's see if we can get... Cyan terracotta might do okay for this. We'll just replace it on all these bottom blocks here, just to make it look a little bit darker so it looks like it has some kind of shadow to it. And it'll also kind of make a defining line between the wing and the rest of the body. Hopefully. I'm hoping it does anyway. Cyan? It is... Yeah, so the Minecraft cyan terracotta is always gray. Just you just gotta deal with it. It's actually one of my favorite gray blocks to use though, oddly enough. Hey Hamza, how are you? And welcome Sensor. Let's remove those. Okay. I'll have to do something similar to this for the rest of the peacock. Probably add some darker blues. Well, if you want cyan color, just use the concrete. That's the only cyan thing, or wool. The concrete and wool is actually truly cyan, just not the terracotta. Honestly, the concrete is all you need to for something that's really colorful. All of the terracotta blocks have really dulled colors, which is good for... has so many uses though for other things. I like that they have like the dulled colors and the bright colors. A mix of the two. Because you don't always need the bright ones and you don't always need the dark ones. You need a little bit of both. But granted, this doesn't look anything like cyan. It's a very, very, very dark cyan. Okay, looking at this bird, I'm noticing that this wing starts. I didn't really map out these wings. I just kind of blocked out where they would go by painting. So you can see that this wing here comes like all the way up to the front, and this one starts way back there. So one of those has to change. I think this one. I just need to push it back a little more so it lines up with that one, because this is technically looking straight on to the peacock. It is kind of facing that direction. Let me look at it from the top too. So if you look at it from the top, you can see this wing sticking way out from where it needs to be. So I'm just gonna punch this back a little bit. We're probably gonna have to add in some blue too, because we originally painted over the blue. Is that better? Let me see. Can probably go back just a little bit more. And this layer right here can go back a few blocks. That looks better. Yay! Still not the exact same here either, but I'm not as concerned about that. You do need to add this back in though. Thank you for the subscription. I will do my best to get this peacock looking like a peacock. Okay, I know I didn't do this last time. Last time I just kind of used brushes to make the body of this peacock. I didn't really touch it by hand or anything. I didn't go in here and do all of this. But now I'm feeling really tempted to do that. Probably not going to go really hardcore on it and go all over the place, but if I see any little spot, I just need to fix it. I just get really picky with my builds, I guess. And this looks strange. Like, what is all these blue blocks sticking here and here? This should be like where the wings are coming down and ending. I think, like, I don't know. It's going to merge in with the tail. Doesn't make too much of a difference. I have to keep telling myself that. I tend to overthink everything. Why do I do that? It doesn't look so bad now because it's all one block though. I'm going to add some shading. To be honest, I'm trying to put off the tail as long as possible, trying to get everything else done, because the tail is going to be challenging. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for it. I really have no idea what I'm going to do for it. I'm going to be using these blocks to shade there. We'll probably use some of this blue too. It's a different blue, but sometimes you do need different shades so that you can actually tell they're there, if that makes sense. Let's start by doing, I'm going to do a little practice here on the neck. This will represent our darkest blue, so we're going to put it in whatever places you'd think the shadows would be the darkest. I think, if I'm doing this correctly, this is how it's going to look. I'm not an expert at this. I'm just guessing. It does look really purplish though, so I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to use too many of those blocks. But you can already see, yep, we're getting a little more shape. If you look at it from this side, it kind of looks, even though we have it bulging there, it does look a little flatter than it does over here where we're starting to add a little more. You can start to see the shapes a little better with these colors here. And we'll probably use this as a mid-tone between the, or maybe it will be a highlight, or that would probably be a better highlight. Yeah. So the lapis is more like our mid-tone. We'll just use the glazed stuff for the brighter parts. I did use a little bit of it up here on the head. Probably use some on the back. No, we'll just make it up and hope it looks good. I have to get used to using these pattern blocks too. I'm still not 100% used to it. It's so weird when you're doing it up close, but when you back up it does look a little different. Even if it's really subtle, like back here it looks like a very subtle difference, but I think it does make a difference, so. Okay, what am I going to do with this part? You don't want it to look too flat, too-y. Like the colors, it's almost looking like it's cutting across. I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to put down just a couple blocks on each side. I don't know, I'm making this up as I go. I'm going to use a paintbrush now for this. Let me turn on my night vision so you guys can see a little bit better. That helps. Let's go ahead and do a little quick painting. I don't always paint to shade, but in this case I will. I think I did. I am doing the right block. Since I had a lot of blocks to cover there. And we'll probably do a little bit under here too. I'm gonna go and clean it up in just a minute. This is just to kind of get some colors placed to help me get started with this. And right here, I don't think we need all of this super dark stuff. I'm gonna change some of that to blue. It does look really purple, doesn't it? And this too looks like a little too much. I'm gonna lower that down just a little bit. Great. Now I think I can just do this by hand because I don't want it in tons of places, and I don't want it to be in a sphere shape, which is what I was using, a sphere brush. And it's just faster to place it by hand sometimes. Also, if you guys want me to add anything else to this build, I don't think I have any plans other than finishing the Peacock, possibly adding some, I don't know, possibly adding some vines or something around the pillar. This is more of like a, I don't know, just a little practice build. Could be anything. If you have something you think I should try to add to it. Alright. I think I need to add a little more of this over here. Actually, I don't think I've added any of this over here. My bad. When you mean colorful, are you talking about the whole peacock? The tail is going to be green. This is just temporary, the emerald there. It's just temporary. It's got all kinds of colors in the tail. If I want to add other colors though, like pinks and reds, those would have to be something separate. Like if I wanted to do that, I could possibly add in some flowers. That was another thing I was thinking of. Maybe just to add extra color, I could do like some flower vines wrapped around the little column that it's standing on. But peacocks generally aren't, they only have like blues and greens in them. And grays. They don't really have warmer colors in them. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that as it is. It's not perfect, far from it, but it's okay. Okay, let's see. Yes, this is for a live stream video. I'm not going to make a time lapse out of this if that's what you're asking. This is just for fun. I am working on another video though. It's something I've been working on for a long time. For months. It should be coming out hopefully within the next 2 weeks. No guarantees, but I'm hoping to have it done. It's been something I've been working on since October of last year, and I can't wait to have it finished. Thank you. Yeah, this is looking pretty good considering I'm kind of rushing it. The feet are looking a little weird, and I was touching these up at the beginning of the stream, but they still look weird to me. Why? Okay, let's fix this. And this, and this, and this. These are all the places that nobody ever notices. Except for me. Alright, we're gonna take a break from that coloring. We can always come back to it. No problem. But now is the tricky part. The feathers, and the tail, and everything else involved with that. This is going to be challenging. I have no clue how to do this. I have a couple ideas in mind. I just don't know if they're going to work. So this is going to be one big experiment. I'm going to push this out just a little bit closer here first. Okay, no problem. So this is my idea. You know how peacock feathers have a very specific pattern to them. They're very detailed. I'm going to try to make one feather and just try to copy and paste it all the way down, but first I'm going to have to give myself some guides. I'm not sure if this is how accurate this will be, but we're going to try it. I'm going to grab a convex brush and we're going to mark out. Don't think we need to do it up here necessarily, but starting from here. Let me destroy some of these. I need to get this shape better. I don't think this wing needs to come all the way up to here. Okay, so I'm going to try to make some curves that will potentially be a guide for the feathers. I know last time I was trying to decide if I wanted it to be, if I wanted the tail to be like really flowy and kind of like stylized and kind of wrap around. That would be a little more unrealistic. It would just be a little neater to look at, I suppose. Ooh, let me fall. I should probably increase my speed. No clear way of knowing if I'm doing this correctly or not. I'm actually going to move this one out a little bit over this way. Maybe that was a little too much. I'm gonna move it a little back this way. Assuming that that's going to be the tip. Or do we want the tip to go all the way down? Let me see. I think we can have it go to the ground. I think it'll be fine. I don't know how long the tail needs to be or how long it can be. We'll just have it go there. We'll have it go there. Okay, let's select these. Let me change my speed for a second. We'll probably do this in emerald. I think, yeah, we'll just do this in emerald for now. To help me see what I'm doing. Alright, the more that I think about this, I think it will be easier to do this with loft. Now that I think about it, because I just realized something I can do in loft that will be much faster to do in loft. I'm going to undo that. All that work. Let's undo a few more times. Oh, these ones I placed by hand, that's why they're not going away. Okay, let's get rid of those. We'll try this one more time. Last time. And I want this to, how do I want this to go? I need to make sure it's falling fairly straight. Not curving in too much. Actually, let me mark this block right here that I think it's this one. Okay. And now we just have to select the other side. I'm going to start it off up here. I think this is gonna look really straight. Oh, I should add another one. I really should. Oops. Alright, to get the curve I want, I'm gonna have to do one in the middle too. Still trying to get the hang of this tool too. I'd rather get it right the first time than have to go back and fix it. So we have a little bump. Whoa, I'm flying too fast. Too fast. And I'm gonna go down here somewhere and do that. Oh, and connect it to this block because why not? Alright, now you can see it's a little curved out more and it's not just a straight flat thing. So I'm going to do, let me see if I can remember how to do this. It's loft set, the block we need, and then however many times we want to divide it. Let's try 6. There we go. So that made a whole bunch of curves for me to place my feathers on without me having to create each individual curve. So those are, the emerald is just temporary, so I can place the feathers on it and whatever. And we can also look at the shape and see if we're liking it. I think we could probably add more to it, like coming from here down, but we can even add that later on. This is a good starting point. Oh, I forgot. It's loft clear that I need to do. Okay, now let's make a feather. How do I make a feather? Be right back as I look for a feather picture. I have pictures of peacocks, but not of feathers. Not the individual feathers. Okay, I think I see what I need to do now. Alright, we're good. I think I got it. Now we have to decide the blocks. So has anyone else been building anything interesting in Minecraft lately? As I browse through my inventory looking for blocks. Ooh, that is a very dark blue. I don't know what I'm going to use for that. Maybe obsidian? Obsidian is kind of like a dark blue. And I need some of this. No. I need some of this. Light blue. This is going to be challenging. Alright, I'm going to create a single feather and then we'll use it. And we'll copy it and just paste it around. They're not exactly circular either. I'm not sure what shape they have. It's kind of flatter and a little rounder down here. And then we need a brown. To be as accurate as possible, we need a brown. Oak is actually practically the perfect color, but we don't need too much of it, so I think I'm just going to make it a single layer. Let's try it here. What other green blocks do we have at our disposal? I'm going to mix in different kinds. Now, is that feather too big for this peacock? That's another question. Or is it just the right size? Could probably be just a tad smaller. I don't know how to make it smaller. I'm going to shrink it this way. I hope this works too. I don't know if this is going to work. If I had a good green block to hang off the ends, I could do, let me try something. I don't know which block is going to look best. Whether it's grass. Grass isn't really, it's like a brighter green, but it might work okay. Or where's the super tall grass? What's the idea of that? 1752, I need to memorize that. Okay. Place below this with this. Only did one. Better than that, I suppose. Alright, we're going to do an experiment and test this out. I don't know how well it's going to work. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to add a little bit more feather-like strands on the sides. We're going to be copying these over one another, so I'm not too worried about the gaps. I'm just trying to make it look like a single feather. It is really big. I hope it's not too big. Oh, and we also don't want it to look checkered. That's another problem. Don't want it to look checkered. Yeah, an Eye of Ender. It kind of does. How does that look? Yay or nay? It looks so weird. I don't know if this is gonna work out, guys. I hope it does. Okay, let's do a test. This doesn't have to be, I don't know what these brushes are. I don't think I need those brushes anymore. I'm gonna get a new one. It does kind of look like an eye. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? It's like it's staring right at me. Okay, we need to get this copy brush, and we need a size of at least how many blocks this is. I'm gonna say 15, just because this is pretty big. Oh, wrong tool. Sorry. There we go. And if we copy this think we can just right click in the middle or below it. Let me see. Did that copy all the grass? I think it did. But wait a second. It copied it from... I always forget how to use this brush. Is it placing it from the top? Oh, okay. I see how it's working now. Okay, I reset my brush. Need to get used to this. It's not letting me grab it there. I'll have to grab it there. So if I look in a direction, it should paste it. And it's going to skew all of those colors, I know, but I think it's the thought that counts. So let's test this out. I think we're gonna have to start at the bottom, I think. And just work our way up. And I have these lines here to kind of give me a guide. I'm gonna have to like make sure I'm looking in the right direction, because if I'm not, it's gonna angle really funny. I think these feathers are enormous, but we're gonna go with it. Nothing like a good experiment anyway. What do you think? Too big? Too much green? Well, I think the green is fine actually, but I'm wondering if they're too big, the colored parts. We'll fill in all the little gaps later. We're just getting these shapes in. We'll probably... should have kept my loft selection now that I think about it. Oh well. I'm going to do that last one. I'm trying to layer them on top of each other too, so they're not just flat. This one here is really flat. I'm trying to see if I can fix it. That didn't really work. I'm going to... one there. We'll just try that. My only concern about this is they're gonna start looking like there isn't a pattern to them. I'm not really thinking about that as I'm placing them. Let's just do one row at a time. I can try it that way. Maybe I should just keep doing what I'm doing. They're a lot bigger than I'm thinking, so I needed to click a little bit lower than I was originally thinking. Because it's going to place the bottom block on the block that I'm clicking on. And I know it's going to look like a mess of blocks, but it did start off as a pattern. I'd almost rather have it look a little messier than perfectly shaped for each feather. How is that looking so far? Should I keep going? It does need like touching up obviously in different places. And it's not just gonna be this. Actually, let me turn off my night vision because that's kind of ruining some of my shadows. Yeah, we'll have to underlie it with a darker block, I think, because right now there's a lot of bright green. I don't know what block we could possibly put under all of this. It's a good question. I don't know. But it's a good start. Trying to click right there. You think it's a bit messy? Well, in the picture it looks a bit messy too. If worst comes to worst, we could just undo everything, you know? I don't normally build with shulker boxes. They just, with commands especially, I don't even know if they work with commands. They're a little bit harder to work with. But I can think about that. I just know they wouldn't really cooperate with me before when I tried to use them for different things. But we can try it. It's a good idea. Okay, I think I need to flip here. Start working this way. The angles are starting to get a little different. This might be a little bit easier too. Oh, do they? Maybe that's what it is. It's something about the shulker box that doesn't work for building. I just don't remember what it is. I couldn't remember if it's like the way that commands work or... And I know this is like... I know I just completely overshot all of that emerald. Just let me look at it for a second. Maybe the feathers are just too big. I'm just not wanting to have to go through and build them all each individually by hand because that would be a lot of work that I don't feel like doing. Oops, I accidentally reset my brush. Gotta go make a copy again. I always do that. I always reset my brush accidentally. Whoa, how did I get trapped in here? How can I get out? Yeah, powder is a no-go. At least not for something that's delicate. I do use it sometimes in builds, but I think this tail is a little too delicate for that. Because I can see myself touching this up quite a bit. Hello, Rooney's CZE. You have a very long name. No! What did I do? You're right, that does look messy, doesn't it? It looks very messy. I'm going to change this up a bit. I'm going to, instead of copying this, I'm going to cut off this top part because it looks a little too much, placing a little too much green everywhere. And we'll try this. Okay. Did it again. In the places where I want it to be really bright, like I want to see the pattern clearly. Oops. This is getting tricky. This is definitely good practice for me right now. I just did it again. Don't push shift when you're using the BR copy brush. It's really frustrating sometimes. Don't press shift. such a habit to use shift for everything. Here we go. And we'll go up this side. I think those are really close together, but whatever. I already got to the top. That's a problem when when a single feather is as wide as the bird. That's gonna be a problem. Problem we won't worry about just yet. Let me out of here. Can't exactly get the right angle here. This is where it's getting a little tricky. See if I can break a few of these blocks down here. I need to like get such a steep angle. I'm gonna have to break down to get this. Okay, I don't know what that did. What did that do? Just spammed blocks everywhere. Okay. Good, good. Things like that, we can just chop that off. Don't really care. I did it again. This is probably what, the 4th time I've had to recopy this? I've lost count actually, but I think it is the 4th time. Let's place some more of these Eye of Enders everywhere. Gonna place one there, place one there. Gonna place some underneath those outer ones. I don't care if they bend in too much. Okay, now we're gonna look for any big gaps like that one and fill it in. I know that looks really bad, but I think it could look worse. I need to study this for a second. Think about what I need to do next. I should probably... I really wish I didn't clear my loft selection. First of all, I can make it again easily enough. Not really. At least not online, I don't. Rooney. I just don't have time to play any other games. I'm going to reselect this. Shouldn't take too long. We'll select one of these middle ones. Whoa, which one am I selecting? Right, this is where it gets a little bit messier. How am I gonna select this? Okay, let's grab this up here. Grab this one. It's probably gonna cut some corners that weren't cut before. That's okay. Now you can't see my selection from here, but it is selected underneath. So I could set that. I didn't select it up here either, just down this part. Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about this. Not sure if I like the sloppiness of it, but we could always go through and like touch up just like a few of the weird places. Like this one right here is really weird that the brown and the green are all separated. So I'd probably just go in there and just fix it up myself. Just a little bit. So it looks like a single feather. And things like this here. But let me see what other green blocks we have. Somebody mentioned shulker boxes. I don't think those will work. But they're actually almost the same green. That's a problem. All of the greens are practically the same. This green is the darkest green there is, but I don't think I used it already. We could always mix in some browns too. Some browns like this. Actually, I'm going to set it to this green first, and then if we want to paint in some browns, we can. So I think I know what the ID for this is. Actually, let me undo that. I need to mask air first, so we're not going over any of our feathers. Alright, now let's mask. This time, let's mask the emerald, so then we can go over any emerald. It's so late. I'm sorry if it's late for you. It's in the evening for me, early evening. Well, I say early evening. For me, it's only 7:30-ish. This is a struggle, guys. I knew this was gonna be hard, but I was hoping for better results than this. For this idea I had. Maybe it will be okay. We can make it work, I suppose. Let me put another feather here. I think we are lacking a feather right here. Did I just copy something? I did not mean to do that. Well, thank you. It's a work in progress, for sure. Hello? Hello? Why is my brush not working? This sometimes happens. Let's try making a new one. World Edit is being slow right now. It's not letting me copy my feather. Ah, okay. Yeah, it will be much later for you then. I would have streamed earlier, but this was the earliest I was able to stream today. But I generally do stream around the same times. It's really hard to pick a time though because of all the time zones and when people can watch. It's really hard to pick a decent time when I feel like streaming and everyone else is available to watch. Okay, for some reason my copy brush decides to break, but thankfully we got all of those feathers on before it did that. You know what, I'm going to, sometimes it does this. If I grab a completely different tool, sometimes it will work. Let's try it. It's kind of weird. It's really finicky. Nope, it's not gonna work. It's letting me reset it. It's not letting me copy it. Gemini Tay does not have a server, but this is the server that she plays on. It is not her server. But yes, it is the same server. Alright, I think I was gonna put another feather here. I'm just gonna have to do it manually since my copy brush decided to break on me. So sad. Maybe it would be better if I just did them all by hand, guys. After all of that. It would be a lot more work though, so I don't think we missed out on too much. I'm just gonna do a couple of these here. Well, hope you have a good night, Lars. Thanks for coming by, even though it's so late. Oh, I forgot the oak. That's what I was missing. Need to put some oak around these. Trying to hand build a couple feathers. At least the copy brush decided to break after I got all the other ones on. Hello, Familiar Dash. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you. It's just a practice build we're doing here. Trying to figure out how to do peacock feathers. Ooh, there's more emerald to be replaced. I'm just going to paint over those. Look at how the shadows changed all of a sudden. It's so funny. Now this does look really messy. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time cleaning this up. I'm glad you're doing fine. Alright, hold on. I need to switch my window real quick. There we go. We're good now. Okay. Okay guys, rate this tale so far 1 to 10. I need opinions. It's not done yet. I still have more I'm going to add to it. But at least rate how it looks so far. And please be honest, just because it looks better than what you could do doesn't mean it's perfect. I need it to be, I want it to be as realistic as possible, but also not messy like it is looking right now. 10? 7 out of 10. If you give, okay. Also tell me what you would change. Yes, honest opinions only. I need honest opinions. I got a 7 out of 10. That makes me think. 5 out of 10. You can't change your answer. You said 10. You're gonna have to tell me what needs to change though. Do we need to restart and start from scratch, or just keep going with what we have? I need to, if we do keep going, what we're gonna do is add more depth under here for one. We're probably just gonna add some extra curves maybe, and I am gonna clean it up, but yeah. 50 is not good, yeah. Only out of 10. 50 is too high. It's supposed to. That's the whole idea. But I kind of see what you're saying. You know what I think we need to do? I think we need to add some highlights to it. That's a thought anyway. So instead of all this green, light green wool everywhere, we should probably add some, let me see what we have. Not lime, because lime is too bright, but maybe something like, where's that glazed terracotta? Something like this. It has a little bit of white mixed in, so it might make a good highlight block in some places. Ugh, this green wool is everywhere. I don't know how I'm going to organize this. I still think it beats placing it all by hand, because then I would be spending too much time making sure each block was perfect. And sometimes imperfection looks a little bit better. I don't know. But in big areas like that, we could probably add some highlights. I do see what you're saying though. There are some places where the dark green does take over a little bit, and that's just because the loft tool kind of pushed it out of the way. Are you kidding me? Now my copy brush made the copy. It didn't give me a time for how long it took. It took at least 5 minutes for it to make that copy. That's crazy. Why is it going so slow? More lineup? You mean like they need more outlines? We can go through and clean them all up. Like I think the oak is good for outlining them. For outlining each shape. If we need to do that, we can. You're going to sleep? Hello? You're going to sleep? You don't say hello when you're going to sleep. What are you talking about? But I do agree there are some areas where the dark green is showing through too much. Just a little bit. And there are some places like this one where it kind of copied too much of the dark blocks. A bit jagged. Should we restart? It does look jagged in the picture. I mean, it almost looks like fur. When it's all down, it kind of just all flows together. I'm looking at a picture as I build this. It's not too far off from how it actually looks. In fact, the blue kind of gets hidden the farther down it goes because the feathers are longer and they're just kind of draping over each other. So maybe if I got rid of some of the brightness down here and just kind of made it more green, kind of made a gradient almost. So got rid of all of these bright pieces here and just did like browns and greens. It's just a thought anyway. Let me see. I'm gonna have to grab some green wool. Maybe we should just do all green. All right, we're gonna try this. And why isn't it working? Hello. Nothing seems to be working for me today. We'll just do this by hand then, since Go Paint doesn't even want to work right now. We do need to have more of a gradual fall off with these feathers. I wish this would work. It's not going to work. Let me try Let's try doing it on a different block. Nope. Maybe in about 5 minutes it will finally figure out what it's supposed to do. Okay, no problem. Take your time. I'm just gonna be sitting here punching blocks on this tail. Alright, I'm going to change this up a little bit. Think more gradient-like. I'm going to use this darker green lower on the tail, and we'll just gradually add in the wool as we go up. Probably not here just yet. I'm gonna end up doing the whole tail. Okay, that doesn't look right because it's too flat. I think we need to make the feathers kind of fade into something like that. I think it is a little too consistent. It's almost too consistent all the way down. Can even make some of these a little, just feathers just smaller in shape, just a little bit. Just some of these middle ones here. This one's way too big. Let's get rid of all these bright things down here too. This is hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. Sadly, I can't make a decent organic without punching half of it to death. I hope it turns out okay. I'm glad you like it so far. Sorry if this isn't super interesting, me punching all these blocks, but it must be done. Especially since my Go Paint isn't working right now. Ooh, look at this. That looks nasty. We don't have any light green over here. Let's change that. I'm probably not going to finish this tail of stream. I might not, for how long I'm streaming. But we did get a pretty good start on it. Let's just destroy the feathers that we don't need. But the colors we know we won't need. We won't need this one. We won't need... I don't think we'll need... That one was probably okay, but we don't need this one. Or this one. Still have my loft there just in case I need it for something. Maybe you're right. I just generally don't live stream when I'm building organics. Trying to get into it, it just feels like it's boring. It's not boring to me, but if you enjoy it, that's even better. Definitely does take a lot of work to go. You can see that a lot of work does go into any organic that's made. Hence why the project I was working on has taken me 5.5 months to do. Oh yeah, the bigger the better is what I always say. I try to build small things and then they end up being big anyway because to me this is a small build. I'm just so used to building big things. From top to bottom? Well, the reason I did them from the bottom up was because... Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that this should have been the top of it and this should have been the bottom of it? I think I was pasting them in the right way. At least from the way I was looking, the pictures I was looking at anyway. It looked right to me. It's so tall. The feathers or the whole build. Actually, I had to, if you were here for my first stream where I started this, I actually had to scale it down a bit because I made it a little too big to start. I just have a tendency to make things enormous without realizing it. But one nice thing about bigger organics is it's a lot easier to get all of the details in. Because if you made it smaller, it's actually harder to make it look real. So in a way, bigger is actually easier. But again, it all depends on what you're building. Let's see. We doing okay here? Is that looking a little better? Working on it. We're working on it. I know these are all ugly. I'm working on it. Whoops. At least good to know my brush works some of the time when I need it to, or when I don't need it to. Hehe. Parts of it are ugly. I'm trying to work on the ugly parts. That's what I'm doing right now. Nah, not perfect yet. Actually, nothing I build is ever perfect, but you have to stop eventually. You can't just build on something forever. Let's see if Go Brush will work. I'm just curious. Come on. No! Why is it refusing to work? Let's try re-enabling it. Nope, it's broken. Go Brush is broken. I'm not done with this yet. I have to add in some highlights when we're done with these greens. I think I'm gonna do that last though. Okay, and I don't like how these feathers are sticking off. They shouldn't be doing that, I know. But the way I pasted them, I couldn't really help it. To me, it's just another project. Waffle, I know you're on Twitch right now. I don't know if you've seen my other YouTube videos, but if you haven't, you should check them out. I've done several other organics, and I have some time lapses of a few. This one is not going to be a time lapse, but you guys are seeing the time lapse right now, so I think I'm gonna do this haul on stream, this particular build. Yeah, we need to remove all of these weird sticking out green blocks. They should be lying a little flatter, kind of smoothed over. I was just trying my best to paste them in that way, but sometimes I couldn't help it. It just had to be pasted in a certain way. There's also some weird collection of oak in some places, like right here. In some corners where it doesn't need to be. We're getting there. Let's just get all this stuff smoothed out. I want to try adding in some highlights on the lower parts so we can kind of get a feel for how it's going to look. With the highlights in, that is. Now some of these might be a little too close to each other, or maybe I just need to remove a few of them. I actually kind of like the random pieces of grass I have. Just adds one little extra texture to the whole thing. That's looking a little better. I do want to switch out this one right here. I'm going to switch out these light ones for the dark, because I want it to look, I just want to look, maybe a few of these lower ones. I just want it to look darker down here. Hey Tyler, how are you? Hope you're having a great day. This looks cooler. Cooler than what? Oops. Need to patch in that hole. That was a lot of punching. Okay, let me look at this. Okay. Can't really see much of a difference from a distance. Let's go ahead, let's try adding in some highlights. Let me check Go Brush one more time, because if it's working, I'd rather use Go Brush for this. Come on, work. Nope. I'm just gonna, so I'm not tempted, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Not sure why it's not working right now. probably quite a few people on the server. Not really, it's not tons of people. Alright. That's actually not very bright. You know what? I think lime will look better. Because from a distance, you can't even tell. Let me put that back where it was. Let's grab some lime bricks instead. Lime wool, or actually lime terracotta is good because it's not super bright, but it is brighter. It is blending in a little bit. Maybe we should try melons. Oh no, no, no. I know what I should do. I know what I should do. I need prismarine. Because there is a little more bluish tint in the tail. And I think we need prismarine or something like prismarine to bring that out. Actually, if there's something a little brighter than prismarine, not cyan. Cyan is a little too bright. Diamond is way too bright. I like this prismarine block, but I know it changes color, so I don't know if I should use it. I can try it. Okay, I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do some prismarine along the sides. So I'm not adding highlights like I was originally thinking. The more I'm looking at my source photos, the more this makes sense to me. But the problem with prismarine, like I said, is it changes color. So 1 second it will look really blue, and the next second it'll look really gray. Maybe if I tried cyan. Let's try cyan. That might look better. Gotta just try them all, don't we? Till we get one that looks right. That's looking a little better. I actually like that. It adds a little more color to it too. Just ignore all these weird blocks under here. We'll take care of those later. Prismarine and cyan. We can try prismarine blocks like this. But I'm just not going to use the regular prismarine because it changes colors and it sometimes it looks a little more gray. You're saying that this looked better to have the prismarine with the cyan? Okay, we can try it. This is really bright, so I'm just going to use it on like some of the outside parts. Actually, before we go any further with this, I do kind of want to okay, granted we still have to clean this whole area up. I kind of want to add a few more underlying shapes. It's probably going to be made out of cyan. Let me clean up these feathers a little bit. This one here can go away completely. I don't know if it would be better to do curves or to just do another loft command. All right, let's try it with loft. I'm gonna start from the bottom this time. Start from here. You can teleport to me if you would like. Okay, and we'll do loft, point here, loft, point here. I'll have to make sure I'm just masking air, I guess, so I don't mess everything up. Oops, what I didn't mean to do. Meant to remove that point and go here. So far, so good, I think. I think so too. I think it's okay so far, considering it's my first try. That's a little bit wide, but we're gonna go for it. Now, okay, now we're gonna go here. No, wait. I'm gonna go here, and then to here. And then we'll start the next one around here. I'm glad I went for this more straight down approach with the tail instead of trying to wrap it around the column. I feel like that would have been just even more challenging than this is already. Ooh, that's not good. It's not good that I should have made it go up to here. Okay, we can remove this a few times. I'm gonna have to, I have a good request to improve this tool. I just thought of an idea, but that's for another time. Let's go ahead and add a point here. Oh, no, not there. We'll add it here. I just wanted to add it a little bit closer to this tail so it's not, so there's not a huge gap between the two. That's better than it was. Okay, let's redo this part. Whoops, nope, wrong command. Wrong command again. Don't even know how to use these things. Hey girls. Hello Aldo, how are you? I think we got it. I'm going to do a G mask on this so I don't mess with my pillar. Okay, here we go. What is the ID for cyan? Okay, I got it. 2519. Okay, I see there are weird gaps in there. I'm well aware. It's been almost 2 hours. I've almost been streaming for 2 full hours. So I'm probably going to end it pretty soon. Hasn't quite been 2 hours yet. Oh, you know what? That did something very strange. It left a gap here, so I must have done something wrong with my selection, but this will be easy to fix. This is an easy fix right here. I do have an Instagram. I don't post much on there, but you can check it out if you want to. I don't post anything personal on there, really. It's still Minecraft related stuff. Yes, I will fix the gaps. That's what I was talking about before, which is why it kind of fixed itself here. But I can fix it. I'll just have to do another loft real quick. I'm just trying to clean up some of these weird areas. Since I did a mask on air, it did kind of mess up in some places. Okay, we can fix this. So first I'm going to close this gap. This should be easy. I'm just going to do this, and this, and this, and this. And we'll do that command again. Close that off. Now I need to, yeah, connect those two in there. Actually, got a better idea. Let's just use a brush. Let's just make a brush and do it that way. Let me remove some of these things out of my inventory. Don't need these. Okay, let's go ahead and make a brush. I'm masking air too, so it shouldn't be messing with my tail that I currently have. How old am I? Wouldn't you like to know? How old do you think I am? I don't ever tell anyone how old I am. I can give you an approximation though. "21. I'd like to think I was 21. That's a good age. Actually, let's do a few more of these. Is this? I think I should. This should be a blend ball. Oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, pro tip. If you have colored stuff and you want to use blend ball on it, but you can't because voxel doesn't like colors, you could try, let me try a world edit blend ball. So if I get another tool, let me try it. I don't always use it. Sometimes it's probably not worth it here, but let's just brush blend ball. Size 4. Okay, this doesn't do as good of a job as the other one, but it does work a little bit better for some things. "21 back in the 90s. Wow. I was a lot younger back then. A lot younger than 21. I might stream a little bit longer than 2 hours for this one because I do just kind of want to work on this tail a little bit more. I'm actually liking these colors. I'm glad I went with the cyan. It does add a lot more to this. Wizards are supposed to be old? I guess. Unless you're a young wizard. Alright. Let's work on this side. Oh no, look what we did. We made a mess. I had a feeling this might happen. That's okay. We should be able, we shouldn't see anything. We just destroy all these. We shouldn't, it shouldn't bleed through because we did have a protective layer behind it. So we just gotta destroy those. And that. And any other strays we see. Up, down here. Alright. You're from Indonesia? That's neat. So cool. Alright, should we fill this in too? Well, just a little bit, just enough so we can't peek in, I guess. Alright, I think I'm going to use loft one more time. I don't really care what happens underneath all this mess. Oops, don't forget to clear your loft. That's a reminder to myself. Okay, and one more here. What did I just do? I selected the wrong thing. I needed to select that with this. Make a Japanese statue? Oops. Okay, hold on. I mean, I make lots of statues. Who knows, maybe one day I will get around to doing Japanese. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. Probably not anytime soon. But we can consider it. I can't make promises that I'll build anything because I get asked to build so many things. I can't make any promises. Because there's no way I could possibly build every single thing I get asked to build. I kind of already did make a horror-like statue. Not really horror, but it was fun. Fun little scary thing in my video. If you've watched it, you probably know what it is. Ah, so much green, so much blue. What are we gonna do? Oops, I needed that. Where'd you go? Alright, I'm going to go through now and fix a few of these feathers up. Don't mind me. Some of them are still a little too big. Just need to resize them. Yes, I do build the dolphin statue, yes. When you say the one, I'm not sure what you mean by that. There have been lots of dolphin statues, maybe I'm wrong. I'm getting ready to pull my hair out over this tail. Oh, let's get rid of this emerald. This is throwing off the whole thing. Let's work on incorporating more of the cyan now into the actual tail part after we take care of this. I really wish I had Go Paint working right now. You don't know how much you use something until it stops working. Can I make a statue of your face? Probably not. I don't know what your face looks like. It's far from perfect, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, this is like, every time I see a piece of grass, I know I'm in creative, but I keep thinking there are creepers everywhere. It's like, it's throwing me off so much. I don't know why. I'm just like, oh, there's a creeper. Oh no, it's just a blade of grass. I'm in creative. They're not even spawning here. Alright, I'm just gonna close this gap by hand. We don't need all these holes here. Dark green looks like what? Zombies? Maybe in survival. I think with I think I have so much of it. That's not really throwing me off as much as the grass is. Make a statue of your face. I'm not gonna be doing a statue of your face right now. I don't know if I have time for that right now. Streaming, building a peacock right now. Although best not to share all your personal information in a stream chat. Also, it kind of counts as self-promoting, which I don't like in my streams. Orca is very similar to dolphin. I feel like I do a lot of the animals. I might try to do other things that aren't animal related. Are you talking about, if you're talking about for future videos, I have so many ideas. But I'm always writing down anytime I get a new one. I will write it down and think about it. 7.9. Yes, we're improving. It's taking time, but we are improving. I am thinking about doing another. I don't know if you've seen my mini statues, like mini animals. Oh, this is a mess. I'll have to fix this. I might do a second video on that if I can come up with a lot more animal ideas and design them. Those are harder to design though, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or not. It's just one of the things, many things I've been thinking about making. Okay, I'm going to close that gap that I just saw after I close this one. I'm not going to use the sphere brush. Well, I suppose I could if I just make it smaller. This is my sphere brush, right? Yes, okay, I'm just going to make it really small. Whoops. We love orcas a lot. Let's do it this way instead. Ooh, that's not gonna look so good. Where is it? Let's see. Whoops, loft set 2519. Let me see. Oh, we can see night vision. So much nicer. I find myself going back and forth just because the shadows are useful to see too. But right now I need to see where I'm placing these blocks. I was hoping we would actually get the tail done in the stream, but it looks like I'm gonna have to spend a whole other stream doing it. It's just really detailed, so... which is okay. It's just gonna take us longer to do this build. That means more streams. Right. Does that look okay? I guess it doesn't really matter. No one's gonna see this part. Let's turn night vision off again because I can see a little bit better. the shadows and everything with it off. Yes, I am. I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube right now. So whichever one you prefer, you can watch. The chat does go to both sides. I think the tip of this tail is going to have to get a little bit wider too at some point. I think we do have more people viewing on YouTube though. I usually do tend to have more people viewing on YouTube. I'm not as big on Twitch. I only have a little more than 100 followers on Twitch. Oh, some of them leaked through here too. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. You guys want to take a break from the tail and like work on something completely different? I'm not saying the tail is far from perfect. Like I have a lot more to do on it, but I kind of want to try something else just to kind of break from this. Sometimes I do like to hop around my builds and work on different things at different times. I do need to clean these up a little bit more here. These green parts. I'm thinking I want to try to add some texturing though, maybe for the last 15 minutes of this stream. I'll probably stream for about 15 more minutes. I kind of want to try texturing the pillar. It's not something that's super urgent, or something I even have to do. Just kind of want to try it. We could add some plants on the pillar later, but right now I just want to focus on texturing it and giving it some more colors, because right now it's just all solid quartz, and I want to see if I can make it look a little more weathered and worn. Okay, I'll leave this here for now. It's so hard to leave it though, because I keep seeing things I want to do. Okay, let me fly back a little bit. I think we're safe to destroy that, because I don't think we'll be needing it anymore. If I have to put any more, what are they called? Feathers in. If I have to put any more feathers in, I'll probably just do it by hand. And I can always remake this if I needed to. So I'm going to remove this. I'm doing it the longer way, I know. Okay. Now for this pillar. I actually did spend a little bit of time outside of stream fixing these scrolls, because before they were completely messed up. So I did fix those off camera, because it took me a little bit to figure it out, but I finally got it. I got it well enough to where it looks okay. That looks so cool. I actually like how it's dipping in the back. I'm not going to keep it flat like that. I'm going to kind of have it transition a little bit better too on these edges. It's not going to just like go from green to cyan. I'm going to have it transition a little more like that all the way up. Okay. Let me see. So I have this idea for how to color this. Let me figure out what blocks would look best. I need to get a palette for this. So we have, oh, that's a slab. I didn't know that was a slab. We have quartz, and we'll need some other blocks that look good with this. Possibly bone blocks, because those look really good. And maybe something a little bit brighter or darker? Not sure. Thinking kind of sandy colors, like that. This will make it look really weathered. This is different from that. Well, it's slightly different. Maybe we should use end stone instead. So it will look different from that. We should try those. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is kind of map out some. I don't have Go Brush, but I still have World Edit. I can try not Go Brush, Go Paint. Go Paint wasn't working for me a second ago. I don't think it's still working. We can try it again. Let me just see if it's gonna work. Let's try just for fun. Nope, still not working for me. It was working earlier, so something happened on the server. It just decided to stop working. But I'm gonna do something different anyway, so I don't need Go Brush. Let's grab another tool. We're gonna use a shadow brush to start. Probably make it emerald. Let's make it 20 blocks in radius, and we'll have command, and I need to mask it on quartz. What is quartz? Okay. Mask it on that. We'll see what this looks like. It's not gonna work. I think everything is broken right now. Hold on, it's not even working. I did mask it on the right block too. 155? 155. Yeah. Something is wrong with World Edit right now, and all the commands. So we'll actually have to hold that off for another time, but we do have kind of a palette idea of what we're going to be using. It was a nice thought. We'll have to try it some other time when the commands are actually working. But I guess we'll just work on this tail for the last 10 minutes of the stream now. At least my speed command is working. Server isn't totally dead. Now some of these feathers, like this one, they're sticking out in a funny way. Okay, yeah, I'm going to, kind of like how I had the blue bleed into the green, I'm going to have the green bleed into the blue a little bit. Or cyan. Sorry, incorrect term. Yeah, we're gonna end it soon. Probably in about 6 minutes. I'm gonna probably end on top of the hour. I think we got quite a bit done in this amount of time. Yep, that's about how long. You can say goodbye early if you want. I don't have a set schedule for these streams either. They're just kind of whenever I feel like it. But next time I stream, it will be continuing this build. I'm just going to keep streaming this until it's done. No matter how long it takes, and then we can start something else, start a new project.
Maybe we can try structure, because I am so bad at structures. I'm just really bad at them. I'm just really bad at planning them out and kind of picturing them. It's just not my thing. That would be something we should practice sometime. Now these are kind of far apart here, aren't they? Wonder if we can kind of fake it and not fill it in. Whoops, I didn't mean to select that. Should just put my selection tool away. Bye again. Still have 3 minutes. You're good. I don't think I took a screenshot. Oh, maybe I did. I took one screenshot of this last time, like a progress. I'll have to take another screenshot at the end of this. Oh no, what? Okay, some of these are a little bit odd, aren't they? My voice changed? Maybe I just changed the way I was talking. I can sound deep and I can sound high. It just depends on how I'm talking. I can change my voice too, pretty easily. I won't do it to embarrass myself. But I can. Alright, how does that look? Work in progress. We might even have to add another color if we can get a darker cyan or something. I don't even know. It just looks a little bright. But we're working on it. You know, we're working on it. Goodbye, Familiar Dash. It's been nice talking to you. Goodbye, everyone. Before we do finish, though, we're gonna get one final look at this. If I can stop myself from punching everything. Okay, I will make myself stop. I will look at it some other time. Here's what we have so far. Let's go ahead and get a screenshot of this. It does look better from this side because I haven't really been touching this side as much. As you can tell. I've barely been looking at it from this side, but we'll eventually get there. Bye guys. Bye everyone. If you're just joining us, I'm sorry, but we're about to end the stream. I will probably stream, I don't know when. It'll be the same time, but it'll be on Saturday at the same time, just not sure which Saturday, whenever I feel like it. So, Bye, guys. I'll go ahead and say bye this way. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming by. See you later. Don't be sad. I'll see you later.